Hey guys, it's Jonathan over at American Off-Road Customs. I want to take this opportunity to go through this Jeep that we have on our rack right now while it's up in the air, because most of the stuff we did on here is from here down. So up in the air is a lot easier to see all the suspension and axle work that we've done on this thing before it gets on the ground. And we'll show you some finished pictures at the end of this video as well, so you can see the end results. But this is a 2024 JL with a 3.6 Rubicon edition. And this guy, he said, is 99% or 90% of the time is going to be just going to Costco and getting groceries. But 10% of the time, he wants to be able to take it out and do like level 7, level 8 rock crawling trails and be able to get through. So this thing's going to be sitting on 37s with some really good suspension components that we'll talk about. So up front, before we get into suspension, I want to talk about the axle work. So this model Rubicon has factory full float 35 spline chromoly rear shafts, so there was no reason to change those. In the front, even though it had some good factory axles with the FAD delete and all that stuff already done, we still wanted to upgrade to the RCVs to make it a little bit stronger in the joints. So we did that to reinforce the shafts in here. We did also re-gear to a 488 gear, upgraded the covers to some Yukon covers so they could take more of a beating. And then we added Artec Truss on here. We got C gussets, and we got the lower control arm skids, and then we upgraded the factory track bar mount to a high mount so we don't have to use a bolt-on version, and it's a lot stronger than the factory one that goes here. So that's going to be a lot better setup for being able to have the high steer and all that stuff work with that. We also upgraded the knuckles and the ball joints. So these are the Metalcloak baller joints, much better upgrade over the factory ones, and they're rebuildable, which is a nice feature that you don't even have to take them out to rebuild. The Synergy steel knuckles, also a huge upgrade over the factory cast aluminum ones that tend to break pretty easily, so that'll be a lot stronger. And then we've got Metalcloak's drag link and tie rod in here. There will be a stabilizer that we haven't put in yet, but that's going to go right here to give it some strength there. So getting into the suspension, we have Metalcloak's, this is their 3.5-inch long arm, or sorry, mid-arm suspension. And we coupled that with their adjustable black shocks, which are fantastic shocks. Give you a lot of droop, as you can see here hanging on the rack. And then it still gives you really good ride characteristics. Because like I said, he's going to be driving this a lot on the road, so he wants to maintain some good street handling. So he'll get that with these shocks paired on here. Now, a couple things that we did on this that you don't normally see as part of their package kits is we replaced the press-in joints that go in the front axle from those rubber bushings to Metalcloak's Duroflex joints. So they have the same kind of joint in here as all the rest of the joints in the control arms. So you get even more flex, and you're eliminating all those factory rubber joints altogether. The other thing we did is we included these front Prolinement brackets. Now these are not part of the kit, but there's something you can add in if you want to maintain a little bit better geometry. It's more of an emulation to a long arm system without having to cut and do a bunch of extra work to put on the long arm brackets and stuff like that. And with flatter control arms, you'll have better handling characteristics at ride height. It's not going to allow the axle to travel backwards as it goes up and down as easily. So it's going to maintain a lot more stability over bumps and stuff like that. So it just overall will handle a lot better with those brackets added in there. And then he was telling me that his wife is very concerned. This is not their first Jeep, and she was very concerned about this one being as big as the last one. So we made sure to add some Rockslide Engineering Steps in here to make getting in and out of it a lot easier for her. So that way they still can comfortably use this, and then when they do go off-road, these will add some protection and sliding features so they don't damage the body or have any issues with running it over rocks and stuff like that. So around the back over here, we did a similar thing on the suspension. So we have the drop brackets. Now they do offer this as an accessory to buy as part of the package of the kit. So we went ahead and did that upgrade as well. Again, this is about changing the geometry of those control arms. It relocates, you know, the mounting point down here from up here, which brings that arm a lot flatter. Even at full droop, those are not very much of an angle. And so at ride height, they're gonna be pretty much flat, which again is gonna make this rear axle stay in the right plane as it comes down, which will help prevent any sort of rear steer and things like that that can kind of couple with a lot of movement there. This is like what you would get with long arm geometry without having to do, you know, the cutting of the brackets and mounting that long arm mount way up there. So really good way to get that feature without having to do a lot of the extra labor to get there. In the rear, so we got the same thing, Yukon gears in the back, Yukon diff cover, added some skid plates to the rear control arm, or rear shock mounts, so that way these nice shocks get protected when they do go over the rocks and stuff like that. We are doing a full Metalcloak skid system on this. Haven't quite got there yet, but that is on the list of things to finish up today. We have upgraded the factory bumper with the Motobilt rear bumper, which incorporates, you know, the backup sensors in there, so you don't lose that functionality. We got the Rusty's tire carrier in the back, be able to support the 37-inch tire that he's going to be running. Relocate the license plate up there so that way he stays legal and doesn't get any trouble, and it fits on there real nice and clean. And then if we want to run back over to the front, I forgot to talk about the front bumper that we did on this. So we have the matching Motobilt front bumper on here, which gives them a lot better clearance to be able to fit those bigger tires. Because there's no provision for the factory fog lights, we went with Vision X street legal fogs that bolt on top of the bumper here. And then for added off-road visibility, we went with their big off-road driving lights, so that way you can see running down those roads at night, and, you know, a little more powerful than what you get out of just the factory LED headlights. Threw a Warn winch in there so he can winch himself out of trouble if he needs to. And then obviously went with the closed loop system that comes with Factor 55 shackle. So this thing is pretty well set up. And then if that wasn't enough, we also went ahead and did the Fender Gut Kit on this. So you get more clearance in the fender wells, cleans up that look a little bit. A lot cleaner, smaller, lower profile light here, which still maintains all the factory functions as far as the daytime running light and turn signals. So it's plug and play. You won't get any of those stupid warning lights that tell you that your turn signals are burned out or anything like that. And then we also upgraded the fasteners for the factory fenders from those clips that break off really easily with a bolt kit. So that's things on there nice and secure. So stay tuned. We're gonna have this thing wrapped up pretty soon. And then if there's something you like, make sure you hit us up so we can build something for you.